I'm here at the National Gallery of Canada, where we have a new exhibition called Shelley Niro, the 500-year itch. And I'm very fortunate to have Shelley here with me to discuss her work. Hi, Shelley.
Hello.
We're standing in front of three really unusual pieces. Is there one in particular you identify with?
Which of these
One
three?
of these pieces, or are they all part of you?
I think they're all part of me. It's a self-portrait.
Yes.
And it's called Abnormally Aboriginal, and it's really about the different texts that have been used for Indigenous people. And every few years it seems like we get labeled under a different name. And so this time it's Aboriginal. And I found that I could not relate to the word Aboriginal, and there's so many other people that I know who just didn't like that term. So I turned it into Abnormally Aboriginal because,
yes.
you know, there's like First Nations, Indigenous, Indian, Aboriginal, and I can't think of any other terms, but, you know, it's like we're just being slid around, and so that's where this came from.
Is there a term that you yourself would like to use, or just all of the ones you've mentioned?
I am still attached to the word Indian because, you know, I grew up being an Indian. It's on my birth certificate. People can identify, especially older people will say they're Indian. And I sort of went back to using Indian because I think about the elders. Maybe I'm the elder now, but for a long time, elder Native people use the word Indian because that's what they're so used to. And I think that if you start questioning your identity, then it's like, well, that puts a whole different headspace in where you think you are. And so I think it's just a matter of saying, okay, I'm an Indian, you know, and leave it at that.
Well, you certainly show a headspace where you are with a lot of your works. They're very political, some of them. They really speak to the situations that many of you have found yourselves in.
Right.
But the painting or photograph with your mother on the car entitled Rebel, I'm wondering if you're a rebel as well.
I hope so. You know, I think that if you're an artist, you kind of put yourself in that position. You know, you're going to question your environment, you can question people that are around you, like how do they feel, and so it's I think it is a rebellious stance. Even by just making art, it's a rebellion.
So the source of your inspiration is mostly emotional, from just things you see and feel around you?
I think it starts out intellectual, if I can go that way, and then it turns into emotion because you're thinking about other people who are affected by the political world of Canada and political world of the world itself. But emotion does play a big part in it.
Yes, and you use multimedia to express all of these things. The beadwork of the boots is just gorgeous. It's magnificent.
Thank you.
Is there any piece here that you have a special feeling for? Perhaps your mother on the car?
Well, yeah. That piece is very special, and she's not here anymore, but I'm sure she'd just love to see that her photo is in the National Gallery.
It makes you smile when you look at it. You can see there's a lot of humor there.
Yeah.
Yes, on my way here I found a bead.
Oh, wow.
So I thought part of your exhibition is around. You've been in New York, you've been in Hamilton, you're here at the National Gallery, and then you're off to Victoria and Saskatoon.
Yes.
That's wonderful that you're being shared all across Canada.
Yeah.
And to think in 2003 you were at the Biennale. That was quite an honor back then, especially.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was not the official Biennale, but I was invited by Nancy Mythlow. She was always trying to gather Native people to go and show in these, I forget what they're called, sidebars at the Biennale. And so I participated in 2003 and 2007, and it was the shirt that got shown in 2003, and Tree, which is also projected or shown here as well. That was shown in 2007. So it is an honor to be shown there.
Are you working on anything specific at the moment?
Right now I'm kind of just being, doing a lot of Zooms, doing a lot of podcasts. I did a film called Cafe Daughter, and doing a lot of PR for that film. It seems to be taking up a lot of work, so I haven't really knuckled down yet and started working on anything that I, could say, yes, I'm working on this, but.
Well, with artists, it takes time often to just consolidate thoughts and ideas,
Yeah.
and you also use words in your work, which I find very, very powerful.
Well, I'm not a wordsmith, but once in a while I think, text with a piece, it really shows what I'm thinking about. So I think it's important for me anyways, so that people can understand the work as they're going through it.
Yes, and we can look at your work and see stories
Yeah.
that you're portraying.
Yep.
So we'll invite the public to come here and see your wonderful work and have an insight into your thoughts and your vision of what's happening in the world, especially with our pop culture and the way you have either disguised it or used it in your own way.
Yeah. Well, I like to use pop culture because I think sometimes Native people are seen as not participating in anything the world is offering.
Passing by.
Yeah. And it's just a way of saying, like, we are participating and we're connecting. And, we're not just sort of shoved aside, forgetting about what's going on. So I like to think that, we're all aware of what is happening.
Yes, and you certainly bring that to the foreground. It's a very thoughtful exhibition, and I'd like to thank you so much for bringing your art to us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.
I'm speaking with Shelley Niro, who's the artist here with the 500-year itch at the National Gallery of Canada, and we invite you to come and really look at this thoughtful, wonderful experience.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.